David Anderson has become synonymous with global black wealth. Whether he's shaping policies at the World Economic Forum, playing key roles within political circles on both sides, mastering the art of building unshakable wealth on an international scale, or breaking down barriers so that black men around the world can win. David is the world's best kept financial secret weapon. From the ghettos of Southside Chicago to the Obama White House, to the homes of billionaire moguls, David's receipts stretch well beyond million-dollar bank accounts, African royal families, or celebrity inner circles.
But I believe that they did something that all of us can do.
David's true gift is in single-handedly positioning everyday brothers to become global millionaires. Why? Because it's about damn time we own what's ours and have a real seat at the table. Money, power, respect.
I met Dave about 4 years ago. My first business cracked 7 figures, and it was actually an interesting time to meet Dave because I oftentimes say you can't just be wealthy overnight. You actually got to have somebody to teach you the game. And DA kind of stepped in and took me and my business partner under his wing and showed us how to kind of maneuver this very dangerous game that we play called business. And within 6 months, DA was actually able to help us obtain a $200,000 line of credit. And then 6 months after that, he actually helped us secure a $3 million line of credit that we were able to obtain in real estate.
After sitting down with David and going through some ideas and some concepts, in the first 6-7 months, I think we did roughly about $10 million together. It's an exceptional program, and David did something for me that no one else had ever done. He taught me the power of global expansion and really understanding the importance of an international network and how we can build on that network. Him and I have done projects that surpassed the $20-30 million mark. My life has changed in more ways than one for the better from the development of our relationship. And I'm just so happy that you have brought me in to the fold and have shown me how important the power of a network internationally from a professional perspective or a personal perspective can be, and I'm ever so grateful.
Welcome, fellas. Hey, black man, how you doing? Welcome, man. I know those are starting to get in here. Welcome, man. Tonight, it's going to be a real concise night. You guys got the messages and the emails. We're talking about international banking. Look, whatever you're doing, man, like, share, let people know. We're talking about the global banking, not just the system tonight. We're going to talk about some practical things. If you're looking at the space of import export, you're looking at the space of global investments, we're going to talk about even the United States interest in this space, even as you as a taxpayer, how you, right, as a taxpayer, you pay for a lot of this stuff, right? And so I want to kind of pull back the shield a little bit on some entities and some industries, right, that we don't even know that exist. A lot of us don't even know that this is even around. So I'm super excited about this and about what this means for all of us to get into this space. I have been, tell you guys a quick story, just a quick story about my journey in this. It was some time ago that as I was entering the Wall Street space, that first off, welcome everybody. Welcome to the chat. Please like, share, right? But some time ago, I was entering the Wall Street space. Now, mind you, guys, I was coming from the South Side of Chicago, and looking after siblings, trying to basically just be a good brother, right, and a good man, and entering this space really as not only a novice, but just as a person that just an everyday black man trying to figure this out. Nobody in my family's done it, right? Nobody I didn't know anyone really, and I remember going to some well-known names. And I'll say their names tonight. I honor them. They're amazing black men who have trailblazed industries for all of us. But John Rogers, sitting down with Jim Reynolds, sitting down with even had some time when I was in New York, sit down with Robert Smith. He did a fireside chat with some black guys on Wall Street and other guys, and just really trying to ask them about the international world, right? The global world. And what I had realized was that I was not to say that generation, but that time period, they were of trying to get their piece of a pie only in America. Welcome, Reverend Roland. Trying to get their piece, right, of America. And I respect that, right? They were of a generation and a time that really just had their eyes on how can I compete, and get a piece of, if I could be so candid, the European pie. Okay. And so, that's what they knew, that's what they had, and that's what it was, right? And so I was interested in global expansion. I was interested in, how do I, as a black man in America, make waves in Asia? How do I, as a black man in America, make waves in Dubai? How do I, as a black man in America, make waves in Colombia, Brazil? How do you do business in these places that, in many cases of what I saw, had more racism or less racism? Some of them, really treated me agnostically, right? They just saw me as an American and someone to do business with. Um, it was quite what I would call the journey for me, trying to learn this and pick this up. And I got really blessed. And I'll tell you guys, I got really blessed where I basically, I met someone who um, told an international businessman, a guy who he had interest in about 14 to 15 countries, was doing business. Small business guy. The guy was from Romania. Long story short, he was part of the Great Berlin Wall that fell down. And he reached out to me via email. He said, "Hey, David, you got 24 hours to respond to me. 24 hours to respond to me, or this opportunity is going to be gone." And he was very much like, "Hey, look, if you want to know international business and know how it works, meet me in my office." And I finally got a shot. Okay, this guy knows international business. Let me sit down with him and talk to him. And he said something to me, man. And I want to share this with you guys. I want my team to put this on the screen, right? And I want to tell you guys, this is a big secret of international business. Not a secret, but it is a philosophy of it. When you enter into the global world and you're doing business, let me just say this to you guys, okay? When you're entering into the global world and doing business, I want you guys to know this. There are what I call good people and there are bad people, okay? Right? There are people who are going to be what I call truthful, and there are people that are going to be what I deem as liars and snakes in the grass, okay? And you're going to counter that if you choose to go at the end of the day, there were good people and bad people in all of it. And that's just the way it is. And so what I want to share tonight, I want to give you what I call the tools. Um, I want to give you the tools to, if you choose to. Now, some of this for you guys are going to be applicable today. Some of it's going to be applicable today for you. Some of you is going to be kind of a tool in the toolbox that you're not going to be able to use, but you're going to use it at some point, whether or not it'll be your company, whether or not it'll be a friend's company, whether or not it'll be whatever the scenario is, you're going to have a moment where this is going to be very applicable to you. So I want you to hold tight. We're going to get started, but I want to start this off, right, real quick with a video. We got a video from a guy I've spent some considerable time with. Smart guy, good guy. I want to give a big shout out to him. Akon. People may have different opinions about him and stuff like that, but if you know this man's story, he started out really, doing crime, right? He was stealing cars. Oh, Britt, you got your U.S. Customs broker's license, right? Yeah, a lot of opportunities internationally. Thanks for sharing that, Britt. And he's selling cars, making $100,000 a week, stealing cars, selling them, and then went to jail, while in jail. He did the song we all know, I'm locked up, they won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up, right? He did that song and he basically used his connections because he had the money he was making illegally. He had started some music studios and he was letting guys like, Ludacris and T.I. and all these guys use the studio for free. So when these guys blew up and he got out of jail, if you remember Akon, he was featured on everybody's stuff, right? And that's because of all the stuff he had done in Atlanta and all the stuff he was doing, right? And then from there, man, he was a businessman. So he started, Convict Records. He started Convict Records and all that kind of stuff. And so, his story is interesting. He's done stuff across, China now and Africa, and he's doing stuff. Cool brother, great brother. I want to play him real quick for something he says, and I think it'll be great for us. So my team, please go ahead and play that clip real quick. I want all the brothers and guys, please, real quick, please share. I'm asking you right now, please share on your Facebook, share on your Instagram, share on whatever you're on. Please share. I'm asking you to share so people can get this information tonight. So like, share, whatever the case is. Go ahead, team, and play that clip. Thank you. Oh, I think they have no sound. Hey, team, let me know, guys. Hey, everybody. Well, first off, we're going to go back to that video real quick. Can you hear me? First, let me see. Thanks for letting me know there was no sound. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We're going to get that corrected here. I do want you guys to see this video. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, put I can hear you. Put I can hear you real quick. If you can hear me. So we're going to try to redo this video. Okay, great. Thank you, Andre Daniel. Thank you, buddy. We're going to see if this video rocks. Let's see if this video goes through. Let me know if you can hear the video. If you can hear the video, put I can hear it or no. Let me know. Okay, all right, cut the video for now. Cut the video. I don't want to prolong it. Go ahead and cut the video. We'll figure it out later. If it comes up, if we test it and we know it can be heard, then we'll use it. So basically, thank you everybody for that feedback. Thank you, appreciate that. All right, so here it is. So here it is. That video you couldn't hear. Basically, what he was saying was this, right? Is that again, this is 1 million black men. This is built so that black men can win. This is what this is. 1 million black men built for black men can win. What Akon was saying in that particular video and chat was this. Okay. The only place at the end of the day, you as a black man, a black woman, whatever the case is, the only place you're truly going to be what I call at home, right, is in the motherland. And if you've never been to the continent, I'm going to encourage you to go. Whether you choose at some point, we'll have our own trips. whether or not you want to go with us or you choose to go on another trip, I encourage you to go, especially for those that are in the diaspora, because until you hit the soil and you hit the motherland, whatever country it is, right, there will be something that will awaken in your spirit that is not currently there. And everyone will tell you the same thing who had been part of the diaspora, had not been to the continent, and, cannot, like they will tell you the same thing, right? The awakening, right, that will happen. And so there is a precedent that if we took many of our skills, our talents, and our abilities, right, not only to the continent, but partnered, right, was able to partner properly. And again, you still have to, again, keep in mind, right, that the same way we deal with the hood here. You ever been in the hood and somebody shows up and they want to do good and they're like trying to build a new house or they're trying to build a new block or redo the block, whatever. You still gonna have the people, just like in America, right? You're gonna have the gang leader, the whoever come out and be like, yo, I want a piece of what you got, right? You doing it in my neighborhood, because they've been so deprived, right, of opportunity, right? That when opportunity shows up, sometimes you have to navigate, right, some of those nuances, right? You have to navigate those things. But the point of that video, we'll go back to it later, is talking about, man, can you imagine if LeBron, right, and all these guys on the basketball court were able to own the teams in Africa, were able to train the players in Africa, right? The same guys we see here, like your cousin, you don't even know it. If you haven't been to the continent yet, you're going to show up and you'll be like, yo, that person looks just like my cousin. Yes, because that is your cousin. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, they light skinned just like we. Yeah, that is all the complexions, all the dynamics, all of it's the same, because that's your home, right? That's your motherland. So he was talking about how doing business and the economic opportunity as a new frontier is on the continent, and all of that. So we'll get that video queued up next time we go through it. But real quick, let's go through the slides real quick. Okay, international banking. So here we go. International banking. Let's do it. Ready for this? All right. So my team, put up the slide. The first slide, if you can put this up, is real quick. Put up this slide. It is the slide that we have on. Let's break down the XM Bank. It has the charts on it, right? The last one I sent over to my team. It breaks down commercial lending, all of that stuff. Let's put that slide up real quick. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you for that slide. That's the slide I want. But let's also put up the logo of the XM Bank, Export Import Bank of the United States. Put that logo up real quick. I want to break this down for the brothers and sisters real quick about what this is, so you can take advantage of it or you have knowledge of it. Okay. Right. Okay. So what is an XM Bank? Now, this is a bank that has been around for decades. Some of you guys, it's the first time hearing of it. Some of you guys, you've never heard of this, okay? But this bank exists. It is effectively banks that governments have set up. The U.S. was one of the first to set it up, okay? That basically is an insurance as well as a lender, right? Because we've been talking about lending, okay? We've been talking about lending. And for those that were not here, when we talk about lending, okay, we talked about, if you remember, right? We talked about the 5 C's for those, right? Credit score, cash flow, assets, economy, right? Also assets for recourse, okay? We also talked about, this is a quick reminder, we talked about how you need to follow Black-driven initiatives, okay? Black-driven initiatives. So in banking, I talked about BMO Harris. Right now, 50 grand, right? As a business owner, that they will give you 1 year of taxes, right? It's the Black Latinx loan program. If you follow Black initiatives in banking, you can get money, get resources. Also, follow banks market and expansion. When a new bank is coming into your area or expanding into your city, that's a good time to go visit that bank, because they want new deposits, they want new lenders, they want new loans, new loan holders. They want that. And then you have connections to board members, branch managers, and corporate executives at that bank. It's also very helpful and gives you insight, right? We talked about these things, right? And then last, we talked about a couple things, right? Understanding your beginning balance, your ending balance in your checking account, okay? Knowing that banks lend on your average balance because that represents your cash flow, and they try to give you loans that are about 20 to 30% of that cash flow, right? And we also talked about, and I'll close out here and go into international banking, how the reason why as you get richer, it's easier to do banking is because if you have $10,000 in the bank and the bank makes 1%, they made $100. But if you have $1 million in the bank with your money and they make 1%, they made $10,000. So the reason why, as you get wealthier, as many black men on here will, as you get wealthier, why does it get easier? Right? It's because the banks and lenders, they make more money off of your money. Right? You ever heard that saying? The first million is the hardest, right? It is. The first million is the hardest because you have no collateral or leverage, right, to operate from, right? Just want to do that quick overview so everyone heard that. The 5 C's, blank initiatives, and obviously how to get lending with, right, these institutions. All right, so put up that slide, Exit Bank. Okay, this institution, you can Google it, the Export-Import Bank of the United States, right, is effectively a lender to U.S. companies, small businesses, but also large corporations use them. This entity is used to allow you to take your products, even sometimes services, but particularly products, in order to sell them overseas, right, and get lending, okay? Boeing is a big user of the Export-Import Bank, okay? A lot of major corporations use this. Small businesses can use it. And I don't want to go too deeply into it, but I want to tell you how it works. So we're going to put up the other slide real quick, the matrix, right? We're going to put that up real quick because I want to educate you guys real quickly about this, okay? All right, so what you have here, now we're doing this is a kind of a matrix here. We have the U.S. manufacturer to the left. We're going to go from basically left to right, right? Kind of left to right here. So something is made, U.S. manufacturer, something is made here on the left, okay? In this example is an aircraft. A lot of aircraft companies use this, okay? All right? The lessor, the person, like essentially the lessor, right? Hold on one second. Sorry about that. All right, the lessor is the company itself, right? Whoever the lessor is, right in the middle there. If you go down, there is then the leasee. The leasee is the person that is using it, like a lease. Leasee means lease, right? The person who has the lease on it that's using it, okay? All right? And then at the top here, you have the commercial lender, okay? Whoever decides to lend the money on that aircraft or on that product, and then they put down 15% of the purchase price, okay? Of the purchase price. So where does the Exim Bank come in? If you look all the way to the right, okay? The other 85% of the purchase price, okay, goes to the Exim Bank. So it's kind of like for those that have a mortgage, you know how you have a first lien holder and second lien holder? The Exim Bank is a first lien holder on many products that are exported outside of the United States, okay? Outside of the United States. So if you're looking at to export, let's say something major, brother, you got a certain hair care line, you got a certain shea butter thing, you got a cell phone thing, you got something, and you're like, yo, I want to export to Brazil, I want to export to Jamaica, I want to export to Europe, right? But man, it's a lot of risk. It's a lot of risk. I gotta like make all the product, and then I gotta trust that they're gonna pay me for it, blah, 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 blah. You can do a deal with the Exim Bank. Now, look all the way to the right and towards the bottom. There's an Exim Bank guarantee. So the reason why this works very well is that the U.S. government is willing to you as a taxpayer to guarantee the loan in which you have to do or get, just like the SBA loan. We haven't gotten into that yet. We're gonna get into that in the future. SBA stuff in lot of U.S. companies, and these companies are not these companies are not so brilliant, so smart. A lot of them use the U.S. government as their piggy bank. The same way we saw Silicon Valley Bank get bailed out. There's a lot of benefits and subsidies to a lot of U.S. companies that we don't use. We don't use it because we don't know to use it. We don't use it. And now I'm giving you this education so you understand it. My team, if you can put up the other slides for the Bank of China and the Bank of India, I just want them to know that this is not just a U.S. thing. This is a global thing. Okay? This is a global thing that exists as for a while. The China Import-Export Bank has been doing this for years. This is what has made China, right, one of the biggest exporters in the world, okay, right? The Export-Import Bank of China. They do loans up to like 90 million, 100 million, a loan, okay, right? So they did this. I think the U.S. at one point, it was a cap, I believe, at like 20 million or 30 million, something like that. And China said, we're going up to 90 million. Put up the Bank of India as well, right? The Bank of India also is in this game. The Exim Bank of India was set up in 1981. Look at this, 1981, owned by the U.S., the India government, okay? And the objective is very clear: providing financial assistance to exporters and importers, and for functioning as a principal financial institution for coordinating the working of institutions engaged in financing export and import of goods and services, right, with the view of promoting the country's international trade, okay? This is part of the country's interest and due interest in order to do this. So you should know about this, understand this, all right? All right, team, let's go to the other slide. Let's go to the slide I sent on what is the International Development Corporation. What is the International Development Corporation? Right? All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So if you haven't heard of this, this is an important entity for you to know of as well. They kind of combine this with OPIC, and some I'll break down OPIC too. But the International Finance Corporation, Development Finance Corporation, okay, it partners with the private sector. Essentially what this institution is, this institution, brothers and sisters, is an institution that is essentially almost like quasi investment and private equity arm of the United States. Okay, right? It's a quasi investment and investment arm of the United States. Okay, right? How does this work? Right? Let's go to the next slide if I can, team. Go to the next slide. Right? Okay. Let's do the emerging markets slide. Emerging markets. Okay. All right. So this is what we do, right? So what they do here is debt financing, right? Look at this. I want you to look at this real close. They do debt financing, direct loans and guarantees up to how much? How much is that, guys? Up to $1 billion for 10 years, as long as 25 years, right? So up to $1 billion with specific programs targeting small and medium U.S. businesses, okay? So they will do debt financing when it comes to your company or to international expansion, okay? Or when it comes to international expansion on this topic, okay? They also do equity investments. What is this? Direct equity investments can provide critical support to companies committed to creating developmental impacts. What that means is that if you have a company or an idea or something that they deem as something that is going to have a developmental impact. So for instance, if you're in something where a lot of guys were doing this with the housing, the model housing, right? Or the what was it? Not AI housing. It was like the machines that made the cement houses, right? They were getting investment. But they will make equity investments in your company. Okay. They also invest in investment funds. So private equity, venture capital guys, they also invest in those. they also cover you of political risk. So when you're afraid, like, man, I don't know if I want to send this product to Zimbabwe because, man, if they turn over leadership, yo, it's gonna be one. Like, it's gonna be crazy. They also have insurance coverage up to that, and then they provide technical assistance, as they say, for that as well. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide. Next slide. We're gonna go to here. All right. Okay. Now this is funny, right? Because they literally have a note for China. This is, again, I know I talk about China a lot, and I talk about it because it's critical for you to understand how this is moving and why we have this propaganda that's like, hey, China, we don't like China, we don't like China. Because China technically we taught China a lot of our tricks, and we basically did it to control China. But then China said, we 1.5 billion people, baby, right? And so China basically took the tricks and made them better, okay? But then they said, look at this. How is the DFC's approach to development different from that of the People's Republic of China? Why are they doing this? Because some people are using China, right, in order to do these deals instead of the U.S. government, okay? So they're saying, hey, I'll use China instead of the U.S. government, right, in order to do my deal, right? And so they're just saying that it offers a robust alternative to state-directed investment because everything in China in the finance sector is still owned by the government. It's still owned by the state of China, right? And so, this is a space that you need to be aware of as a Black man, right? You need to be aware of this in conversation. You need to be aware of this as you're out there, you're doing business, that you're aware. You don't. If this don't apply to you, you don't need to get into the weeds of all of this. But you do need to be aware and conscious of this because this will make you a better businessman and a better business person. Okay, let's go to. And I know some women on here too, and business women as well. Thank you for joining 1 Million Black Men. All right, I think we have one more slide. I'm going to break down OPIC real quickly here. Right, we have one more slide. I want to break this down, and then I'll have a quick conversation about some experiences with international trade and some of the deals that I've done. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So the slide we're going to put up here real quickly is the one that is it breaks down OPIC, the OPIC slide. Oh, a second. This is an important one. This is a little bit different of a organization that you guys should know about, right? OPIC, Overseas Private Investment Corporation. So believe it or not, the U.S. government has a for-profit entity that they take your tax dollars on in order to do Wall Street work, right? Ain't that crazy? The government basically said, hey, we're going to create our own private equity company to go around as the government, right? And do private equity deals, right? With your taxpayer money. And that's why I tell people, look, if you don't want to participate in this game, don't participate. But you can't complain because even our government does it, even other folks. And so if you're educated in this space, it's going to make you a better business person, okay? Just a better business person. Remember, this is breaking down Wall Street, right? So we talked about a lot of bank lending. We talked about personal finance. We talked about all that stuff. And now we're getting into, thank you, Thomas, for that. What's going on with the video? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, here we go. OPIC's organization, right? All right, so this is what they do. And you need to know about this. This is their portfolio. If you see here at the bottom, OPIC currently manages about 23 billion in projects in 89 countries and operates on a self-sustaining basis. What does this mean? Okay. What they're saying is that they use your taxpayer money to get started. But then after that, they made so much money in returns, they don't need your money no more. Although it's still considered a government entity. Okay. All right. They have about 250 employees. They're in DC. Okay. And they have at the bottom, they say they have 41 consecutive years of returning profits to the U.S. taxpayer. Okay. Right. So what they do is that they go into countries. And again, this is something that you you should know of. It's not something you can apply today, but you should know of this. They go into countries and they go, oh, what do you do? Oh, you sell fertilizer, huh? You sell fertilizer? Okay, great. Well, we're going to give you $200 million, okay, as an investment from the U.S. government. And we want you to export to us, export to us the fertilizer, right? We want so much fertilizer. We're going to help you grow, and we're going to help you export to Japan, our ally. We're going to help you export to the UK, our ally, okay? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to help you go from, you're doing what, 100 million in revenue? Okay, we're going to help you go to $1 billion in revenue, but we want 20, 30% of that, okay? So then they get their equity stake, they invest in the company. Now, mind you, this is like the U.S. government is your salesperson. So they're knocking on not other companies' doors. They're knocking on other countries' doors, right? Hey, Japan, I need you to take like 30 million of fertilizer here. Hey, UK, I need you to take like 50 million of fertilizer. Hey, Canada, I need you to take like 70 million, okay? So they help these companies grow from whatever they're at to where they're going to go, like any other private equity company, okay? And then they sell. They build the company up and they sell for exit, but then they try to sell it to who? Probably a U.S., more like a U.S. corporation or somebody in their ally network in order to sell. This is why I am so big, and you can put it on full screen now, right? Put it on full screen on myself. But this is why, brothers, I am so big on us building our community, being educated, right? 1 million black men to help black men win. Being educated because, like, this is what they're doing, okay? This is what they're doing. And if we are not aware, see, some things you may think are novel. You may think, oh my gosh, what Dave is talking about is novel. This is so unique. No, I'm just telling you the game. I'm giving you the tools from the rules, okay, of how the system operates and works and what it is so that you can go out and you can play this game better, okay? I believe with all my heart, if I can reach one, even two brothers, right, who thought that, man, this thing, I put it, if you can start to put the pieces together, I don't know, but I know one thing is that if we help each other and we assist each other first in the mind and then give you the tools, not just the rules, give you the tools in order to succeed, in order to win, I believe that not only can we change our culture, not only can we change our people, not only can we change our cities, our nation, but we can change our worlds, okay, into a better world, into a world that we never even thought possible, okay? So I want you to know, brothers, this, okay? Listen to this. As we're breaking down Wall Street, the purpose of this is so that you have a financial working knowledge. We got one more week of this. I think I'm going to go into small business loans and some other things like that. But we got one more week of this, and I'm asking you, be there Monday, and I'm asking you to bring a brother with you because the purpose of this is that we're going to do some live, what I call channeling of businesses. So what I want you to do, for those that are listening, okay, you can put it in the chat and stuff like that. If you want, we're going to do a kind of a live, just a live business. If you have a business and you want what I call like kind of a business analysis, right? If you get our text message, okay, what we need you to do is this, right? I need to at least, right? If you have a business, you got to at least be making at least about 30,000. Okay, at least about 30,000. If you're not making 30,000, it's very difficult. You got to kind of get to that point, right? At least 30,000 a year. Okay, so at least 30,000 a year. If you're in that business, and I want to do a live analysis of your business, right? Go through some numbers and stuff like that. We have to get to you beforehand. Okay, so we want to get those people or that person. We'll do a live kind of, not a Shark Tank, but kind of like a Shark Tank, and really go through your business. And I'm going to work and assist you in getting that business to at least double the revenue, right? With some of the nuances, things that I know and I've learned over time in order to help you expand and grow that business. So we're going to be doing that next time, guys. So if you get our text messages, Just respond to the text message. We need, put this on the screen for us. We need the name of your business, the industry you're in, okay? Not a whole lot of information. Industry you're in and what your top line revenue is, right? And then I need to know if you're full-time or part-time. So industry you're in, okay? Industry, what your revenue number is, okay? Right? And then if you're full-time or part-time, obviously your name, your personal name and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to do that for Monday. We're going to go through that and really try to go through. You can text that number. Go ahead and text that, and we'll do like a free kind of analysis of your company about things. And we're going to go through lending, right? We're going to see where the money is for you, right? Where we can help you and assist you with getting to the bag, getting to some money, whether it's lending or funding or grants, whatever the case is, right? I'm going to be very honest with you, let you know, hey, does this business have any legs? Does it really have any legs? You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, when you talk about the jockey and the horse, sometimes it's a good jockey, but man, you're on a bad horse, right? You're good. You got the skill but you can be on a bad horse. Sometimes, you're a bad jockey, but you're on a good horse, and sometimes people are winning, right? This happened in COVID. I saw it happen in COVID. There was a whole lot of people in COVID that had an online business that was kind of mediocre. They weren't really that good of a business person, but they made a whole lot of money online because everyone had jumped online because of COVID. But because they wasn't a good business person, they made a lot of money. And then what they did, they end up, basically disappearing and not doing well after COVID subsided because they didn't have the fundamentals to run an actual good business. Man, guys, this has been fun tonight. This has been awesome. Again, please text. Let us know the business, the industry, and what your top line revenue is. We're going to get to you. Man, go ahead. We're going to go straight to our we're going to play our video, our testimonial video, and then we're going to go into, and then we're going to play our 1 million black men. Guys, again, as always, I love you guys. Oh, wait. Did we get the team? Let me know. Did we get a chance to get the Akon video? Did it ever work or no? Did that Akon video ever work? Okay, no, don't worry about it. All right, let's go ahead and play our testimonial video. I'm going to be out of here, guys. Love you guys very much, man. Look, I'll see you at the top because the bottom, man, it's just way too crowded. All right, black man, one love. Love you guys. See ya.
I met Dave about 4 years ago. My first business cracked 7 figures, and it was actually an interesting time to meet Dave because I oftentimes say you can't just be wealthy overnight. You actually got to have somebody to teach you the game. And DA kind of stepped in and took me and my business partner under his wing and showed us how to kind of maneuver this very dangerous game that we play called business. And within 6 months, DA was actually able to help us obtain a $200,000 line of credit. And then 6 months after that, he actually helped us secure a $3 million line of credit that we were able to obtain in real estate.
After sitting down with David and going through some ideas and some concepts, in the first 6-7 months, I think we did roughly about $10 million together. It's an exceptional program, and David did something for me that no one else had ever done. He taught me the power of global expansion and really understanding the importance of an international network and how we can build on that network. Him and I have done projects that surpassed the $20-30 million mark. My life has changed in more ways than one for the better from the development of our relationship. And I'm just so happy that you have brought me in to the fold and have shown me how important the power of a network internationally from a professional perspective or a personal perspective can be, and I'm ever so grateful.
Calling all black men. This is a call to action. This is a call to action, an action call. Calling all black men. This is a call to action. This is a call to action, an action call for 1 million black men. I am Quasi to put you on a call path to win. This is not a Zoom call or a call on Facebook Live. Though we are virtual, we are live. Not a call on TikTok like MLB Black Men, we are on the clock. Not a call from Snapchat. Move back, my bat. We are on first base to Isaac Hayes Jr. fan base. We have an eye on third base. Grand Slam, not a call from Instagram, as we don't need validation with blue checks. We are the true checks. We do checks. We write checks. We are the right checks. We do family checks. We check in on our sons and our daughters. We are black men who walks on waters because our children like to FaceTime. We are black men who FaceTime. Let's FaceTime. This is still not a call from an Android or an iPhone. It is extraterrestrial to phone home. I know sometimes black men, we have to travel around the world to be appreciated at home. But you are not alone. You are in the each one, teach one green zone, where the elusive weapon is the truth. We are the black truth. We are Paul Pierce, the truth. We are the loot. We are 1 million black men strong. We will get along as we landline. We walk across their blue and red line. Now this call is from a landline with rotary numbers and a coiled cord. We are 1 million black men on one accord. This cord and phone transmits a dial tone, whether a local call or a call of long distance. Regardless of the distance, it connected us. Social media unconnected us. Our homes need us. They soul feed us. And not just food that give us niggas itis. I write this, our homes bleed, sweat, tears for us. Black men, it is up to us. It is on us, not to just procure the bag. Buddha bless one, share it with me. Get the info under your afro, bro. And establishing sovereignty to be a one united bank for economic just us. Black men, we must set up a family trust to an estate, because right now everything is at stake. Because we can't lead from behind, from your behind to your mind. They are public with their relevance as they use artificial intelligence in this age of information. Elon Musk bought Twitter to gather more of our information. So if I have to be the Starlink, I will break the Starlink for 1 million black men. But I won't condone our culture with misuse of our information. So I grant you David Anderson for this financial literacy education. DA went from shy Southside streets to JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs on Wall Street. From Chicago State to Harvard. At 19, he fathered the economics in his family house. DA served in President Obama administration at the White House. He lived in China for 3.5 years, learning the Chinese economy, the renminbi. To the British pound, black men, let's get this pound. To the European euro, we NBA step into the euro. To the Uganda chilling, black men, let's be empowered by our billing and be willing to learn and understand. Money is just a tool to build unshakable wealth. 7 generations deep that DA will teach that we can compete in an economy beyond that's local. Black men, we must think global. So I present to you David Anderson to put you on this financial literacy path to win. Welcome to the movement. 1 million black men.